everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today is my December TBR video, which means I get to start showing off my Christmas sweaters. So this one, you can just read the top of it, is my Fleece Navidad sweater with its highly decorated sheep, which I could not resist, especially considering I teach Spanish. So these are all the books that I hope to read in December. I may read more than this, especially with Christmas break at the end of the month, but I haven't quite decided what I might feel like at that point. I'm flitting between any number of things at the moment, so it should be an excellent wrap-up at the end of the month. The first book that I am definitely reading this month, because I'm already halfway through it, is Demon Voices by Philip Pullman. These are a collection of essays that he's written mostly about stories and storytelling. Some of them stray into art criticism as well. Most of these are absolutely fascinating. I love what he has to say about writing, about divisions between various genres, about education, as I found out he used to be a teacher before he became an author. I love all of that. I wasn't as thrilled with the essay that I just read, which has him comparing two paintings, but mainly looking at the painting at the Folies Bergère by Manet, which is a lovely painting, and he'd had interesting things to say about it, but it just didn't hook me. I got bored with it halfway through, which is the danger with a collection like this, that you won't love all of the essays. But I would still highly recommend it, as most of them are wonderful, and there could be many, many more waiting for me in the second half. Next, my classic for the month is going to be Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. So many of you on BookTube have recommended this to me, and it sounds just wonderful. It is, as I feel like I've said many times, the story of a young girl, Mary Barton, living in a manufacturing town in Victorian England, who is torn between two lovers, I believe, or her lover's torn between two different ways of life, or both, maybe, I can't remember. There's a lot of internal conflict here, and it tackles a lot of the same points in that way as North and South does, but it also weaves in a murder plot, which sounds just wonderful, and the perfect cozy and exciting classic to curl up with this December. Next, my nonfiction for the month. I could count Philip Pullman as nonfiction as it is essays, but I also thought Tomorrow Will Be a Good Day by Captain Tom Moore would also be a wonderful choice, as it will be fairly light writing. It's nothing too deep and academic, but full of optimism and hope, as well as, I'm sure, fascinating stories from the 100 years that he has now lived. And let's face it, going into the new year, we could all use some words of wisdom and optimism. The next book that I definitely want to tackle, especially once I start having some more free time at the end of the month, is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. This I don't really know a lot about, and I almost don't want to, but it's come highly recommended from a number of people, and it was just adapted for television by the BBC, although I don't know if we'll be getting that show here in the US. Eleanor Catton is from New Zealand, but I'm not sure if this story takes place in New Zealand as well. But it is a fantasy story. I think it has some sort of Victorian or Victorian-esque setting. Oh no, it does. It takes place in New Zealand in 1866. I was right on both of those points. And then fantastical things begin to happen in this gold rush town that the main character finds himself. It is a chunkster, which is why I'm waiting until the end of the month when I have more time to really get to grips with it. But I am very excited to read it. And finally, the last book that I definitely need to read in December is Hidden Sea by Gregory Maguire. I have not read any Gregory Maguire, although Wicked is on my TBR. He is well known for his Wizard of Oz retellings and other fairy tale retellings. This is a retelling of The Nutcracker, and I'm curious to see if it's more based on the E.T.A. Hoffmann story, or on the ballet story, because they are, I think, slightly different. You know, the ballet's a bit more cheerful than Hoffman. Hoffman tends to go a bit dark, but then so does Gregory Maguire, so the two might suit his style very well. But The Nutcracker is a holiday classic most years, and it'll be a nice short Christmassy read, which I don't often have. Apart from that, I am considering a number of books. Just looking over at my TBR, I may decide to read through one of my shorter new classics, like The Lady of the Camellias or Manon Lescaut. Hamnet, I'm not sure about. I've been wanting to read it so much, but I've also heard that it makes everyone cry, and I'm not sure I can handle that right now. I may save it until April, which would be around Shakespeare's birthday, so that would work out. I am tempted by The Foundling by Stacey Halls, or Mary Toft or The Rabbit Queen by Dexter Palmer. I am tempted by The Testament of Loki. If I have a whole day to myself, I may try to read To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf all in one go, as I feel like Woolf's writing sort of demands. It's not a good style to pick up and put down all the time. And the last book that I may or may not read this Christmas is Bella Poldark by Winston Graham. This is the last book in the Poldark series, and I have grown to love these characters so much that on the one hand, I want to escape to Cornwall and revisit them and just fall into this book and thoroughly enjoy myself. But at the same time, I am not ready to say goodbye to these characters yet. So it's on my TBR. I may or may not read it. It depends how I feel. If I feel emotionally ready to say that goodbye to these characters, then I might. But if I'm feeling a bit tender, I may not. So there you have it. Those are the books that I am considering reading this month. Let me know down below if I should move any of the ones that I am considering definitely onto my TBR. Should I nix one of the books that is currently on my TBR? What are you excited to read this month? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone.